My journey into mental health didn't start with textbooks or lectures. It began with God. Without God, there's absolutely no mental health or healing for any mental illness. That's a truth I couldn't ignore. In high school, I studied psychology in about sixth form, but I eventually walked away from it because it dismissed the existence of God. I told God that if it didn't include Him, I just really wasn't interested. Fast forward to 2014, I went on a deeper journey with God, and mental health started showing up in many ways, both personally and as I watched people I love face difficult seasons that challenged their mental health. That's when I sought God's guidance, and He reminded me of what I had said. He showed me the path to complete my studies in Christian counseling psychology. And I embraced that calling, putting the gift He placed in my heart into practice. When I became a mother, I quickly connected with our mothers, and I realized something important. As a community, we often hush the true pain and strain of trying to nurse ourselves back to health while nurturing our babies. The truth is, it is hard, and there is never enough support for that journey. That's why this podcast exists, to create a space where we can talk openly about the intersection of faith, mental health, and motherhood. My joy in all I do is to see you smile and feel heard, to ignite your laughter again, and live. You're not alone. You naturally matter. I'm so excited to walk with you on this path of healing and support. But guys, I was so eager to start. I don't even know if you remember when I had started on IG sometime last year. I put out about 2 videos, really enjoyed myself with hubby's support, and totally fell off the target because why? I started overthinking it. Oh boy. Until I talked myself right out of it. But here I am. Let's start again. Let's keep it real. That's what I know to do best. I'm thanking God for His push to kickstart again. So let's get to it again together. So happy you're here with me. Welcome to the Mental Health and All Things Mommy podcast, where we dive into the intersection of mental health and the beautiful yet complex journey of motherhood. I'm Janelle, affectionately called JJ, a passionate advocate for holistic wellness, mental health, and the joys and challenges of being a mom while raising children in today's world. I'm married to my high school sweetheart, and we have 2 wonderful boys who keep me on my toes every day. I'm overjoyed to share my thoughts, tips, and experiences with you. So let's unpack our first episode. The importance of prioritizing mental health. Mental health is an essential part of overall well-being, yet it's often overlooked or misunderstood. When we talk about mental health, we're not just talking about mental illness or disorders. We're talking about the emotional, the psychological, and the social well-being that affects how we think, feel, act, and just about everything we do. It's what allows us to handle stress, relate to others, and make healthy decisions. This is a pretty much a textbook definition, but your mental health is everything. If you're not okay, there is no way that you can relate or give off anything of you without it. So, however, in today's fast-paced world, it's easy to put our mental health on the back burner. We get so caught up in our responsibilities, careers, and day-to-day life that we ignore the signs that our mental health might be suffering, whether it's anxiety, burnout, or even just feeling emotionally drained. The truth is, we can't pour from an empty cup. Prioritizing our mental health isn't selfish, it's necessary. One of the most powerful ways to maintain health is by setting boundaries. Many of us struggle with saying no, whether it's in our personal or professional lives. We believe in being people pleasers, but the truth is, without boundaries, we leave ourselves vulnerable to overwhelm and exhaust ourselves. Boundaries are not walls. They're a way of protecting your energy and, ensuring that you have the mental capacity to engage with the world in a way that is natural, healthy, and it just flows, just a sustainable way. Another key practice is mindfulness. Mindfulness doesn't have to mean long meditation sessions or retreats, but it doesn't have to feel robotic or you have to have a special way to meditate. you meditate in your own way and fashion. So it can be as simple as taking a few moments each day to check in with yourself, to breathe deeply, or to observe your thoughts without judgment. This small daily practice can create a ripple effect, helping you manage stress, remain centered, and pretty much stay connected to your emotional needs. And lastly, on mental health is seeking support when you need it. You see, seeking support, guys, this is vital. There's often stigma surrounding therapy or counseling, but the reality is that everyone can benefit from having safe space to explore their thoughts and feelings. Look at this, guys. I don't know where we get this stigma from, but doing therapy or counseling is what keeps you from getting off your head, or what they say as mad. It's not doing it that makes you mad, or the fact that you need it that makes you mad. Stepping up to do mental health through counseling or therapy sessions is what really guides the mind and keeps you on a healthy mental health path. It keeps you focused. It allows you to allows you to dismiss the whole mental breakdown before it happens. So whether it's to speak to a therapist, joining a support group, or confiding in a trusted friend, seeking help is a sign of strength, never weakness, guys. Anybody who don't seek help, hey, tell them I say that's the weak person there, and that they need to man up. We all need support. We all need help. We all need love. We all need support. Let me not use man up though, because that's so overrated. Even goes to say about males not needing to want to feel like they need to get mental health support. I think a man who knows that he needs mental health support is a man who is on the path to his truest form of success, smashing goals, and connecting with his emotional, physical, and just overall spiritual side. It's a better self, putting yourself in that position. Anyways, guys, as we progress, I hope you're finding this edifying, because this is something I really like to do. And remember, at any point you guys have any questions, be free to write them down, comment in the box below, and just let me know your views. And if there are any topics that you'd like me to present on, please feel free to have me speak about it. I'll be ready at any point. So let's talk about mental health in motherhood. Why does this matter? Motherhood is a transformative experience, emotionally, physically, and mentally. We often hear about the joy of bringing new life into the world, but what about the mental and emotional toll it can take? Being responsible for another human being is no small feat. And while motherhood is filled with moments of pure happiness, it is also filled with moments of much anxiety, overwhelm, and even isolation. Guys, I don't want to unpack too much in this episode. This is our introductory episode, getting to know me, getting to know the content that we'll be diving in initially, and just to prepare the appetite for the things to come. But let me just unpack right here. When I became a mother, that free lifestyle of just going about doing what you like to do when you like to do it. It's not that it's gonna stop, but initially it does stop in that first 3 months that I speak about, keeping the baby home and not mingling too much with everybody. Guys, I was always on the go, doing just what I need to do. And trust me, that moment to just sit still was something more than I thought it would have been. But thank God for his love and his constant holding of me, people around me to support me mentally, watching out for me, looking for any signs of anything that could be depression. We'll get to those topics, but they'll be definitely telling me that, hey guys, watch out for this and pay attention to this. Yes, I was studying psychology and everything, so that was also help, but I must say my greatest help was from God and the persons he placed around me to guide me and support. So trust me when I say feeling isolated, feeling lonely, anxious, definitely. Even worse if you struggle with anxiety before, becoming a mom, the anxiety has gone up top tier with your first child. I know it might be different for everybody else, but as I say, support is never enough in this time. So I know firsthand how real this is. After all, we don't always talk about those sleepless nights, the self-doubt, or the emotional burnout. Not to mention the overstimulation that can occur. But here's the thing, your mental health matters. Full stop. As a mother, it's not only about caring for your children, it's also about caring for yourself. So, story time. One of my other great challenges with motherhood was just being on demand with my son at that time. And hey, when we talk about breastfeeding, it's the most beautiful thing. I prayed for it. I'm happy that it was a total success with both my sons. But my first son, Nathaniel, oh my goodness, I literally didn't know what I was up for. When I talk about breast pain and bruise and heal and bruise again, I don't want to get too graphic into it, but I want to keep it real. I don't know what I didn't see. I've heard great remedies of squeezing the breast, expressing the breast milk so that you rub it back on the wound and it helps with healing, which is true. But guys, the breast can get so blistered, even with the best advice from the pros. It can get so blistered that it even breaks the skin, and it's just excruciating pain. Not to mention, if you see your first gush of just onset that bleeding at any point, it was a horror for me. And Steve was there to help me and guide me in the point. Both of us being new to parenting, it was something else, guys. But I made it to the other side of bliss, and both my boys enjoyed 2 years of breastfeeding, and it's great. But if you can't breastfeed, that's fine. Our kids will be fine. Much prayer, needed nutrition, whichever formula you choose, whichever you just be in close contact with your pediatrician, you'll be fine. Never let it be a case where I didn't get to do that breastfeed and it's the end of the world. Yeah, maybe you really wanted to, so you still need to acknowledge it and work through the disappointment and the grief that you would have to go through to get over it. But just don't stay there too long and talk about it as much as possible, so you get it off your chest and keep going forward until you feel like you're healed from it. The next thing that I wanted to talk about is balancing self-care and motherhood. So self-care as a mother can feel like an impossible task. Between running after kids, managing the household, or working, there's not always time for bubble baths or the morning meditation. Trust me, the guilt comes in there, but we'll get to guilt also. But when you can't do all this, it affects you as a mother. You want to give the best to your child, and it really gets to you. But self-care doesn't have to be a grand gesture. It can be as simple as taking 10 minutes to breathe deeply, journaling, which really goes a far way. So you journal your thoughts while your little ones nap, or asking for help when you need it. Ask for help, guys. It really goes a far way. Either it be cooking some extra meals, just taking a minute to keep the baby so you can just go for some fresh air outside. Ask for the help that you need. So these small moments of self-compassion can go a long way in helping you maintain your mental well-being. So, real talk, the guilt of putting yourself first. Let's talk a little bit more about the guilt, as I was, preluding to. The guilt that comes with taking time for yourself as a mom. It's something most of us face. I have felt it too often. I still do in many ways. And then it's just a roller coaster of thoughts. So it feels like anytime you focus on yourself, you're taking something away from your children. But that's not true. Trust me, it's not true. I remember even mom guilt coming in when I had Nate. I've spent 4 years with him before his brother came. When Aiden came now, I was like, I felt so guilty when I was gearing up. He didn't even come yet, gearing up to having him. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to share myself with Aiden, and I have Nate, and it was just unbelievable, overwhelming emotions for me. The thought of having Nate to stay, with anyone instead of me doing everything, I felt so bad. I felt like I was betraying him. It was that deep. It was really, it was terrible. I didn't even know that was a thing. I heard mothers, I was watching some stuff, but I was like, wow. But as the time drew closer for me to have Aiden, it really affected me, guys. I just felt like it's not just me and Nate anymore, but it got better. I acknowledged, I grieved about it, I prayed about it, and it got better. And it just became, it's like it's always been like that. So it's amazing the things that the Lord can help you with, and the support of loved ones can help you through. But that was just me having to sit down with myself and just embrace all the feelings that came. That was just me and God trying to deal with that, because even if Huzzy encouraged me, I still would feel that way. So some things you just kind of have to deal with. You receive the support, but you have to deal with it with yourself in your quiet time, as small as the quiet time sometimes can be at a newborn stage. But in fact, when we prioritize our mental health and well-being, we become more present, more patient, and more loving towards our children. They get more out of you. You're less miserable. You less go through mom rage. Mom rage is another very good topic that we'll get to, but trust me, these are the things that I don't believe a lot of mother talks about. Other mothers don't speak about it every time. Well, for me, it's a part of the reason why I do this podcast. I like to keep things real. I like to keep the things that we go through, the raw things, that just as how they are, without prettying them up like everything is so perfect. It's not, and it's fine. It's in doing this that other persons don't have this expectation, and then they become so overwhelmed when things happen. It's like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know that it was going to be so bad. Yes, I do know that you're still going to have to go through it, but some things I believe we can soothe others into it with our support as other moms. Be that support in words for other moms. That's just how I feel. But hear what, guys, it was so good talking to you, man. I'm just looking forward to spending time with you. So thank you for tuning in today's episode of Mental Health and All Things Mommy. I loved our intro session. I hope you did too. I'm just looking forward to meeting everyone and us talking and just unpacking motherhood, as serious as it is, as lovely as it is. And I hope this conversation has encouraged you to make your mental health a priority, even amidst the chaos of motherhood. It's a journey and you don't have to do it alone, guys. Join me next time as we dive deeper into more tips on balancing motherhood, mental health, and everything in between. So remember, where no counsel is, the people fall. But in the multitude of counselors, there is safety. Proverbs 11 verses 14. This is the King James Version. Remember that the Mental Health and All Things Mommy Corner is the community where there is no judgment, but only an atmosphere of love, learning, and affirmation. So, until then, take care of yourself, because your mental health is just as important as your child's well-being. Be sure to connect with me on Instagram at JUHJAYO, that's JUHJAYO. And don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe button on YouTube at JUHJAYO. I can't wait to have you join the community. Bye, guys.